Yeah. Live. Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in with us on this fine Sunday afternoon. I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, guys, so up first, let's get talking Manchester United transfers. We're going to be talking about potential outgoings, two midfielders linked with moves away, and we have it down in the chat as well. The players, of course, Scott McTominay and Fred. That is what we're going for today. Now, Manchester United, this has been reported by Manchester Evening News. McTominay has been linked with a number of moves this summer, but Manchester United are not planning for his sale as he's the youngest senior midfielder. On the other hand, we're going to sell Fred because he's in the last year of his contract. I think this is a bad move. Make no mistake about it. So I'm asking you guys down in the comments, I'm asking, who would you rather sell, Fred or McTominay? Let me know down below on the poll. But here's my problem with this. The biggest reasoning as to why United want to keep Scott McTominay is because he is younger than Fred. That has no relevancy because Fred is a better player than McTominay. McTominay is 26. It's not like this is a young guy coming through. McTominay is in his prime years now, and he's not going to get any better than what he currently is. Do I think he's a bad player? No. But do I think he's United standard? Definitely not. And we can get a higher price tag for him. Of course, I can see the guys are down in the chat, so it's good to see you guys as always. Let me just do that. And yeah, so we have Hot Fuzz down there, one of our latest members. Thank you very much for joining in with that. He is saying McTominay could be 40 years old and they still wouldn't sell him because he's a young prospect. It is Lingard syndrome. Thank you very much for that. And I can agree with that. Like, I really sympathize with that point because it's definitely a case that we are looking at McTominay going, oh, if we want to buy a 26-year-old midfielder to replace McTominay, it's going to cost more money. That's the problem here. It's coming down to money. It's coming down to Glazernomics. I think we're safer selling McTominay because we will get more money for McTominay than we would do for Fred. And Fred is a better player anyway, so it is a laughable suggestion. I seriously hope that it is not true, but it does seem like Scott McTominay will have at least one more season for Manchester United. And I'm asking you guys, should we be selling Fred or McTominay? Because we need to generate money in sales. That is what we have had rammed down our throats all throughout this transfer window, is the importance of selling players, the importance of Manchester United going out and getting those sales done. I'm saying sell the guy, he's going to bring in more money, and that's going to be McTominay, and that will mean more money for Manchester United to go buy Onana, buy Hojlund, buy more players. That's what we should be doing. An ambitious club would sell both and look to invest money to bring those guys in. Let me see, the comments are flying. Lucky Singh's in there. Fred is looking to go to Fulham. That looks like he might be. Yazir is down there saying sell both. Thank you very much. I will probably agree with you there. Ronnie is down there as well saying 100% McTominay and Jinwei as well. So look, I would like to see Fred and McTominay sold. I think you're looking at a good transfer fee if you sell both those players. You're probably looking around £35 million brought in. We could sell Fred for 15, McTominay for 20. That means another signing for Manchester United. Someone who will come in and be good for us. It won't just be these players are here, they're going to be expensive to replace. And that's really poor way to run your football club. We said this weeks ago. It was, I believe, Samuel Luckhurst. Now, Luckhurst came out with an article saying United's must-sells are Brandon Williams, Tellez, and Eric Bailly. I mean, we want to sell other players. We're not going to sell Maguire, seemingly, because that's going to cost us money to replace Maguire in the team. We're not going to sell McTominay. We're going to tell Eric Ten Hag, you're going to have to stick with McTominay and Fred for another season. So whilst we have Man City taking De Bruyne off in a Champions League final and an FA Cup final to put on Phil Foden in midfield, we'll be taking Casemiro out of the team to put on Scott McTominay. That is the difference here. We are trying to catch up with one of the most dominant midfielders and the most dominant teams that we actually have in recent memory in English football, and we're going to tell Eric Ten Hag, you have to do this with Fred and McTominay in the team, so, and Maguire, so it's just not going to work. It will not be working, man, honestly. Hot Fuzz is down there. You could sell Fred and McTominay and San Lavia. Yes, that's what I would be doing. I think that is a smart deal because Lavia, at 18 years old, is a better player than both Fred and McTominay, and his potential is sky high. We could just sell both of those guys. Yusuf is down there. Good evening. All we need is Romeo Lavia. Yep, completely agree. And Lucky Singh as well down there saying Richard Arnold looking to leave. Let's get Fred moving along to Fulham. I think Fred to Fulham, that's a smart move. It's a good move for Fred. £15 million, I would be very happy with that. But if you told me I had to pick one, if I have to keep one out of Fred and McTominay, I'm going to keep Fred, and I'm going to keep Fred pretty much every single day out of those two because he is the better player. And McTominay, I just don't think he adds enough to this team. And where's he going to play? Like, we know he is not a number 6. We know he cannot do the job of Casemiro in the midfield. Is he going to be better than Eriksen and Mount and Bruno in midfield? No, no chance. Absolutely no chance. Ashid is down there as well. Good to see you, man. Saying good evening. Good evening to you as well. I hope you're having a good day, man. And Lucky is saying Fred is definitely looking a move. And Greg is down there as well. There's a rumour Newcastle want Van de Beek 17 million. It's not a great amount, but it could be something. He's not done anything at United so far. And a bit of cash towards another player. Thank you for the comment there, Greg. I do agree. I think that's a smart move. I think selling Van de Beek will be a good one, and I think it will bring in some money. And we actually have a report coming in from Dutch sources saying that AC Milan are interested in Donny van de Beek, and they would pay around about £20 million to sign him in this transfer window. That's also another smart signing, in my opinion. Sell Van de Beek, I think he will be going regardless. I think very unfortunate. A guy who came in with a lot of potential, probably he was never signed for a team that really suited what he wanted to do. Very unfortunate with injuries and everything else that has gone on with him as well. Finlay is down there. Is Onana bid today? Yusuf is saying yes, it has to be Van de Beek. And Lucky is saying AC Milan looking at Van de Beek as well. Yep, absolutely. And just in terms of what Finlay is saying there, we have been told all weekend, Onana bid, Onana bid. It will be coming in a matter of hours. It will be in today, tomorrow. We haven't actually had an official bid on this, and it is concerning. Now, as we know, United, we tend to not make bids unless we know they're going to be accepted, and I think that's the big thing. That is the big difference. So in terms of what we actually have, this is coming in from Gazzetta in Italy. They're saying United are willing to spend 50 million euros on bonuses plus Onana. Inter are demanding 60. So there has to be a deal done there. Some negotiation. It will not be as straightforward as perhaps we would have liked. But I do think this will be a player we sign. I think it gets done. We've seen Romano in recent days say that Andre Onana has all but agreed personal terms. He has given the green light to come to Manchester United. He wants to play for us. So I completely agree. I think this will happen. I think it might just be a matter of time. Let me see as well, Yazir. Yes, for Van de Beek, 17. Fred for 15. McTominay maybe for 20. Then you get 52 to get Onana. Thank you for that, man. I completely agree. I think that the money is here in the squad. It's just about being brave and selling those players on. That's what we have to do. We have to sell Maguire. If we sell Maguire on top of that, for that 52, we're maybe looking 70 million. And then we have the money to buy Hojlund. We have the money to buy Onana. We have the money to buy another midfielder as well. And that's what I would like to see Manchester United do. Be ambitious, because other teams around us, they would do it. And if we have any hope of catching up with Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal and teams like that, we have to be ambitious. I mean, we're seeing Arsenal spending £70 million on Kai Havertz, £105 million on Declan Rice. And Manchester United, we are haggling over £10 million with Inter Milan for a goalkeeper who we desperately need. So we need to, I'm agreeing with what Yusuf is saying here. Yusuf is saying, get rid of all of them and we can buy better players. Absolutely, there are far better players out there than McTominay, Fred, Elanga, Maguire, Van de Beek, guys like that. We definitely can improve on those players. It's just about having the ambition to actually go out and do it. And that's the biggest thing with United. And we've lacked this ambition for a very long time. We have had voices at the club, from the ownership, from the board as well, who are looking and saying, let's not sell McTominay. He's younger than Fred. How about we sell both players and we bring somebody in who's better? I mean, the whole age thing, it's ridiculous. McTominay is a more valuable player anyway, so it makes far more sense to sell Scott McTominay. But in terms of Onana, because this is the big story breaking at the moment, this is really looking like the next player that will be coming to United. So according to Gazzetta in the same article, if United meets halfway with Inter, the deal will be done. Onana's staff are already negotiating his salary. So I'm feeling confident on Onana. It looks like a deal will be done there. And look, if Inter want 60, United want to pay 50, middle ground, 55 million, job done. That's what it will be down to. Now, we know Manchester United, we know we are slower than a snail in this transfer market, so we will, of course, just drag it out. We will make it last that little bit longer than what it has to, and it will happen once again. Let me see. Jinwei is saying, Kroenke never spent that much. How come they want to spend this much? I think they want to spend this much in terms of Arsenal because, quite simply, they have finished second place. They have that Champions League money now, and they want to back the manager in a way that's going to matter. So, yeah, I mean, Arteta has been well backed at Arsenal. Let's see how he goes. And yes, Yazir is definitely right. Once you get one player sold, the domino effects will come. Absolutely. And look, United, we have a very big squad. We have a big squad with a lot of players in it. And a lot of them will not be used. We know this already. Brandon Williams, Alex Telles, Eric Bailly will not be used. Maguire will be used very little. Martial will be injured. We will see very little of Van de Beek. We will see very little of Scott McTominay as well. So that's why I think what we should be doing is sell McTominay, keep Fred for another season, and then from there we can either offer Fred another extension or we can let him go. I mean, we're Manchester United. It should not really matter if we get £15 million for Fred. That should not have a big effect on the overall budget, on what we can do in the transfer market. So I hope, beyond hope, that Manchester United can go out, sell these players, and bring in the right players to replace them. And look, if Manchester United, we manage to sell 10 players and we bring in 4 or 5, I don't think that makes us any worse off because a lot of these guys would not be available for United to pick anyway. Erik ten Hag would not pick them, and that's what it's going to come down to. Liman is down there. How much is the salary of Onana worth? So at the moment, Onana is paid €3 million per year at Inter Milan. It has been rumoured that he would be getting paid around €6 million at Manchester United per season. So it's really not that much money when we consider how much money we actually paid other guys. When we see Sancho on 350,000 per week, when we see the likes of Harry Maguire getting 250,000. So I'm happy enough with that. £6 million, yes, it's a lot of money, but I don't think in terms of what the rest of the squad get, I don't think it's overall that much money. Let me see who else is down there. Prince Ado is saying, do we have the money to spend? That's what it's coming down to, man. It seems to be coming down to the money. It looks like we will have enough money to bring in Andre Onana. Now, I do not believe these reports coming out that Manchester United would be walking away from a deal because it would be too expensive. He makes a lot of sense to bring in. I don't think 15 million is a lot of money to spend on a goalkeeper of this quality. Let's see, Hot Fuzz is down there considering Bailly is available for 2 million and we've had no interest in him, says everything we to know about him and the negotiations team. These wages are putting clubs off. I completely agree, man. And I actually watched your video as well earlier and I thought it was really good on the sort of fire sale that United are looking at. And it does come down to the wages because Phil Jones is a player Manchester United should have let go of 5 or 6 years ago. He was kept on. He went whole seasons without playing one match. What I do think United need to do is stop these crazy salaries. Look, you can pay the top end players a big deal. Look, that's fair. Nobody will deny that. But when you're offering the likes of Martial 250,000 a week, when Brandon Williams is on about £80,000 per week, you're getting yourself into trouble because these guys will never. They don't have to take a pay cut. So. And other clubs will not pay them that much. We've seen this many times with United. Let me see. Lucky is down there. Inter wants United players there. And Jinwa says, it makes me feel better about Maguire because of Chelsea spending on Wesley Fofana. Absolutely, man. I do agree with you on that. Look, I think, honestly, if United managed to get in 20 million for Maguire, 20 million for McTominay, I think that's going to be a good summer because look, if we sell those players for 20 million each, 40 million total, that's another player bought. That is another player we can add to this team. And what I would like to see is United going from a squad of about 30 players who are not good enough to a squad of about 20 players who are good enough. And I think that makes a big difference. If we have players who can come in, we can rotate, and we will see no real drop in performance. United, we have the players, but when we play Maguire, when we play McTominay and Fred and Van de Beek, guys like that, the level of our performance drops. So if we have less players who are very good, it's better than having more players who are not good, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts. Hot Fuzz is saying nearly 100 in here. Smash up the likes, folks. Yes, guys, if anybody wants to drop some likes, would be very much appreciated. And honestly, guys, I just want to say as well, thank you very much for that stream yesterday. Got super chats, got new members. Really appreciate all the support from all of you guys. Absolutely incredible from everybody. Really do appreciate you guys so much. So let's get talking about Andre Onana some more, because we do have another piece coming in. So this is once again from Gazzetta, obviously an Italian outlet. So they're saying Inter Milan are optimistic about the transfer of Onana, and they are looking at a new goalkeeper. So I expect that to happen. I think this is a deal that will get done. I think far too much of it makes sense for it not to get done when we look at Onana being Erik ten Hag's former goalkeeper, past relationship there. Inter Milan need to sell, United we need to buy. It's going to happen. It will happen, in my opinion. It will just be a matter of time. Lucky is saying Serie A suits United players. Yeah, honestly, it does. And Serie A, there's a lot of players who could go there and do very well. I actually think Harry Maguire would do very well in Serie A, playing a more defensive style at a slower pace with a deeper line. I think he would be a very good defender there. It's the same with Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling went and has been very, very good for Roma. So I think, yeah, Serie A would suit a lot of these players. I think Van de Beek would do well, and let's hope that we can sell some players to Serie A and maybe bring some in. And speaking of players coming in from Serie A, we're going to talk Rasmus Hojlund, because Atalanta have rejected a £30 million bid for Rasmus Hojlund from Man United. They want at least 45 million up front. So a big gap there. Obviously, Atalanta, they wanted close to 100 million at one point. Will not be getting that much, but I do think we will be getting some players brought in. Dan is down there. Just hope to get Onana and Hojlund in before the tour and get them used to Erik ten Hag's style. Absolutely, I do agree with that. And Lucky is saying as well, Bastoni. Yep, Bastoni would be a very nice setting for Manchester United. I think we need a new centre back at some point. Probably not going to be this season, but I think next season we can bring a younger centre back in who will play alongside Varane, Martinez, Lindelof, and I think that will be a very solid selection of centre backs. So let's get talking here about players outgoing. This is a controversial one, so we are going to talk Jadon Sancho, because Romano has says it is very difficult for Sancho to leave in this transfer window. I mean, I like Jadon Sancho. I think there's a player in there. Like, I've always liked how he plays. I think we know the talent. That's why we get so frustrated, because we know Sancho is good. We just don't see it anywhere near enough. And I think that's one of the big problems with Sancho. A question for you guys, if I might as well. If we are offered around 45 to 50 million pounds for Jadon Sancho in this window, would you guys take it? Let me know down below. Yusuf is saying Van de Beek will be better in Italy. Absolutely, he would be. I think he might go back to Ajax. I think that would be a smart move for him, all things considered. I do like the player. I've always liked Van de Beek, but I just do not think United have the personnel. We don't really have the play style to have Van de Beek in the team, so I think a move will be better for him. Let me see as well. Sphinx is saying a long time supporter of this fantastic football club as well. We found we want ongoing success. The Glazers are making this really painful. Yes, absolutely, they are dragging everything out. Very little news on the takeover so far this weekend, and I was expecting to see some things breaking, some things dropping. What I will say is this: I do think things are going on behind in the background. I hope that we're getting closer to a potential agreement, either for Sheikh Jassim to come in or somebody else, whoever it's going to be. We want to see the Glazer family removed, and it does look like Qatar are definitely leading in the negotiations. They are feeling confident. Let's hope that this gets done very soon for Manchester United's sake. Let's see. Yusuf is saying give Sancho one more season. Dan is saying sell Sancho and give Garnacho number 7. He can play more. Yeah, I mean, I think Garnacho will be the number 7 next season. It looks to be that he is destined for that shirt. I'm excited for it. I like Garnacho a lot. He's one of those very few players. He just drives at oppositions. It's very exciting to watch. It's the kind of stuff we love to see from Manchester United, and we want to see more of it. Absolutely. And I think it would be a real show of faith if United did give him the number 7 jersey. I think we might do it. Let me see as well. Lucky is saying the stock market is open for him. tomorrow rise up. Yep, let's see what happens in the market tomorrow. Let's see if it goes up, if it goes down. It was very high last week, and it is always worth keeping an eye out on that stock market. Now, we have seen the BBC, we've seen Reuters, we've seen Bloomberg. They all have said that once the stock hits around about $30, that could be sign that it is a done deal. So if it gets close to $30, the confidence is there from the investors, from the stock market, that United will be sold, probably to Sheikh Jassim. Let me see as well. Cody is down there. Good morning from Colorado. Oh, thank you very much, man. I actually didn't know you're from Colorado. It's actually what? It's 5:30 in the evening here in Ireland where I am. So I appreciate that for you guys. And as well as that, Lucky is saying we need to get some movement, and Hot Fuzz is saying we are entering the third financial quarter. Yes, we are, man. We are getting closer and closer. Let's hope we do not go to the quarter four. Let's hope this is done before then. Although knowing the Glazers, anything is possible. So let's get talking about potential players leaving Manchester United. So we are talking, of course, about Facundo Pellistri. So United are set to offer Pellistri a new contract and will look to loan him out for the full season next year. I'm excited for this. I think Pellistri is a very talented player, and I think what he needs at this moment in time is going to be game time. I think if he can go out and have a loan spell like Amad Diallo had last season at Sunderland, where he plays every week, he will really develop and improve. I do not think that Pellistri gets better at United by playing half an hour once a week. Tops. I just do not think that improves him. Let's get the kid some match time. Let's see how he can develop. And I would say the same for Amad. I think if Amad Diallo is not going to be used next season, if he is not going to be close to first choice, get him another loan. I think that makes a lot of sense. Cody is saying 10 a.m. currently, born and raised in Seattle as well, though. Yeah, look, I am not really familiar too much with America, but I'm confident that Seattle will be even earlier in the morning as well, probably. Was it like California time? I don't know. I'm really bad with times and stuff. I always have to Google it as well. Yusuf is down there, but if you get £15 million, sell Sancho. I think that's a fair offer. I think United, we could strengthen for that. Look, I'm excited to see Sancho this season because I think this will be make or break, and I want to see what attitude Sancho has. Does he have the attitude that I am here to play for my future? I'm going to go out there every single match, give it 110%, make things happen, be brave, or is he going to look reserved? Is he going to be passive like he has been throughout his United career? That will be a big question. I'm excited to find out the answer. I actually think what we have in Sancho and Antony is two very different players. In Sancho, we have a guy who is too passive, who does not try enough. There's no risk in Sancho's game. In terms of Antony, there's far too much of a risk because he takes all these shots. He gets a lot of shots off, very decisive. Oh, and we got a new member as well. Dan, thank you very much for joining Members FC. Much appreciated, man. Really do appreciate that support. Honestly, you guys, I'm not telling anybody to sign up for it, but it is there. So thank you very much for that. Big up, Stan is right as well. So as well as that, guys, for members, there's currently a post up. If you guys want to request some video ideas, we can do that, members exclusive. As well as that, we have the Discord as well, and I think I'll probably add a members channel in there for you guys as well. So it is there. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Much appreciated. Big ups, man. And yep, really love and appreciate all the support from you guys. Keith is down there saying we should be looking at the Feyenoord striker Santiago Jimenez. I'm actually not too familiar. I mean, I know we are looking at a player from Feyenoord, but it is not. It's not Santiago Jimenez. We are talking, of course, about Feyenoord goalkeeper, and that is Justin Bilo, is it? Bilo? I don't know. That's coming from Laurie Whitwell, so that's a potential goalkeeper. You guys are genuine legends as well, so thank you very much for that, Dan. I much appreciate it. Let me see. Vera is down there. Hi, sorry to catch the live late. Honestly, man, no apologies at all needed. I mean, you guys are literally giving me time out of your day to sit here and talk about United, so I do appreciate every one of you guys. So for anybody who has not voted, I am running a poll in the comments, so we are asking you guys, who would you rather sell, Fred or McTominay? Because that's what the talk is coming out of Manchester United. According to Manchester Evening News, United are set to sell Fred to Fulham whilst keeping hold of McTominay because he is the younger player. I mean, it's like what Hot Fuzz was saying. Hot Fuzz had said down below, earlier on in the stream. He said that this is like Jesse Lingard syndrome all over again, where we have a guy who is 26 being talked about as some sort of youth prospect. United, we need to be realistic. McTominay is in his prime years. He is not good enough for United, and we should be selling him, in my opinion. Sphinx is down there. I saw on another YouTube United channel that apparently we're in for Chimeni. Do you perhaps have an update on that deal? Is the signing possible? I haven't seen that there, one man. I haven't seen much in terms of actual, what I would call, reliable sources saying about Chimeni. Now, I did see it on Twitter earlier. Let me just double check that as well. I will check it out, man, because I know United had an interest in Chimeni at one point. I would be surprised if we went in for him. Tom is saying, is it true we're bidding for Onana? Look, it's looking like we are going to bid for Onana. It looks like that's what we're going to do. United, we are trying tactics. We are talking about other goalkeepers. This is the same negotiation tactic we used in terms of signing Mason Mount. We said that, oh, we're going to walk away. We're going to sign Caicedo. I didn't believe that for a minute. I knew we were still in for we would still be in for Mason Mount. So I don't think that's going to happen. Let me check about Chimeni, because I'm not actually seeing too much on that one. Looks like there was a link to Arsenal as well earlier in the week, but I would be surprised if Chimeni leaves Real Madrid. I mean, he's only there for a season. Let's see what happens on that one. Let me see. Dan is saying Deadwood FC all needs to go. McTominay, Maguire, Fred, Elanga, Van de Beek, Henderson brings more funds and clears out the wage bill. Absolutely. Bring those players in, sell those guys, get the money in. We can buy better players, make no mistake about it. Those players are out there. We can do it. I completely believe that we can do it. I mean, Brighton have built a team from nothing that has finished really high up the league last season. United, bargains are out there. We just have to go out and find them. Peter is saying McTominay all day. He is rubbish. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he's ever going to be good enough for us. Not at 26. He doesn't offer anything that any of the other midfielders offer. McTominay's thing is physicality, it's strength and stuff, but I mean, we get that from other places. We have Casemiro in there now. We have a strong backline. Maybe we do not need a big guy who's going to win a lot of headers in midfield, because we're going to be playing higher up the pitch. Let me see as well. Chats are flying in. Gregory's down there. Onana is good, and he can help us as well. Just not Justin Bale, in my opinion. Can say Onana. He has everything. Thank you very much for that. Look, I think the thing is with, of course, with this Bale, with Onana, I think this is United saying, if Inter do not lower the price, we're going to buy this guy. And I think we're hoping that Inter will buy the bluff, that they will take the bait and they will lower the price. Look, I think this is a deal that gets done. Italian sources are saying Inter won 60 million, and they're also saying United are offering 50. The natural meeting point, it's going to be 55. It's just about how do we get there? How do we work it out so that everybody's going to be happy? That's what it's going to come down to. Let me see as well. Yusuf is saying he's a good player but expensive. Cody is saying we get more money with McTominay. Yes, that's one of the reasons I would like to sell him, because I think at 26, we're looking at 20 to 25 million pounds. I think that's a smart sale. We can improve on that, and we definitely can bring some better players in there. Tom is saying, are we bidding for Onana? Yes, it looks like we will be, man. Just answer that question. Lacano as well. United are not ruthless enough, which is why we pay the consequences for sentimentally keeping players who should not be there. Players who do not fit the profile and work ethic of Man United. Thank you very much. That is a brilliant point. Completely agree with you, man. I completely agree. And I think United have done this for a very long time. We have held on to players too long for various reasons. And one of the main reasons has always been the price it would cost to replace those players. That's why we're not going to sell McTominay, because they're saying if we go out and sell McTominay, we have to bring someone else in. I don't think you do. I mean, yes, you can take players out of this squad. There's a lot of players who will not feature next season. Eric Baggy, Tellez, Brandon Williams, guys like that can be sold straight away. I think an ambitious club, we go ruthless, we get rid of McTominay, we get rid of Fred, we go and get rid of Anthony Martial, and we bring in better players. That's what we should be doing. Dan is down there as well. Installment deals and add-ons, hopefully with Onana. Yeah, it's going to be add-ons, it's going to be installments, and I think that's how United can kind of stretch this somewhat small budget out. I think if we pay half up front, and then we can stretch it out, because If we do that for Mount, for instance, we're talking £27 million now. And if we take that from the 120 we have, we still have almost 100 million we can spend. If we do something similar for Onana, then we're going to have enough money to bring in Hojlund. And that's something we can do. We can kind of put it on Klarna, I guess, pay a third now, pay a third next year, and a third the year after that. Obviously, it's not ideal. We have a big bill in terms of unpaid transfer fees, around £300 million. But I think we have no choice. We need these players. We're going to have to do it. So if Sheikh Jassim has to come in and pay off the credit card bill as well, then he's just going to have to do that. That's what I think we're going to have to do. Let's get talking about other outgoings, guys, because we do have a link for David De Gea going to Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, De Gea, he is no longer a United player. He has left Manchester United. Now, whether he gets re-signed or not, that's going to be a different discussion. But one thing for certain, Saudi Arabia, they want to sign him. They want him at Al Nassr, so he could be linking up with Ronaldo again. Cool Gamer Boy is down there. What is the news on Rasmus Hojlund? In terms of Rasmus Hojlund, we have apparently had a bid of 35 million euros rejected. Now, this is coming from Italian sources. They say United want Atalanta want around 45 to 50. Let's see what happens. United, we apparently think that Hojlund's price tag is too high. Let's see what happens. Dan is saying, give Greenwood on loan to Atalanta for Hojlund or Amad Diallo, both ways, and lower fee. I think that's a good idea. I think we have seen links to Mason Greenwood going to Italy, and I think that's going to be something interesting. I mean, whether it happens or not, I don't know. I mean, he might never play for United again. I have a feeling he won't, but maybe it's something that will be good for him, maybe in terms of mental health, in terms of rebuilding a career elsewhere. But he might go. He might go. Let me see as well. So just on Hojlund, this is from Laurie Whitwell saying Manchester United have considered Rasmus Hojlund's price as too high. So we have to do something. We have to get that price tag down. Now, how we do that, I don't know. Whether we go and give them Amad on loan for a season, whether we go and try to pay installments, have the player put in a transfer request, let's hope. Peter's down there. I hope David does not sign. I don't know. I mean, look, I think the thing is with De Gea, it's like he has no leverage now. So if he wants to stay at United, he would have to accept whatever the pay is going to be. He would have to accept whatever the squad role is going to be. So sorry for that. I don't know. Like I think we could sell. I think we should just let him go. I think the whole situation has been handled really badly, all things considered. When we can look at giving him a contract and then taking it away, I think a clean break is the better deal for all parties. Let him go and build a career elsewhere, whether he goes to Saudi Arabia, takes the big money, whether he moves back to Spain with his family. Let's see what will happen there. I mean, I don't think he will suit us long term. But guys, any more thoughts, guys? Shoot them down into the comments. Let's see as well. We were asking you guys, who would you rather sell, Fred or McTominay? 72% of you guys are saying McTominay. Thank you very much for that as well. And as well as that, guys, please consider dropping a wee like on the stream. Really helps the channel out as well. Let's get talking Andre Onana, because we have an update from Sky Sports. They're saying Manchester United are proceeding quickly in their pursuit of Andre Onana. Inter are expecting the first proposal in the next few hours, and that will be in line of their valuation of 50 million euros. That is coming from Sky Sports, so pretty reliable, all things considered. I think United could be going in there with the bid very soon. So that's a positive update we have. That is good news, because finally we are moving in this transfer market. Let's get United moving into the future. Let's keep on going. So let me just do that. So that's into the chat. You guys can see it as well. Lucky is saying, guys, Atletico Madrid could have De Gea back. He might. The idea of All Black, of course, but I think there's definitely going to be Spanish clubs interested. Gregory is saying, my opinion, we need to just let David leave. Yeah, I would agree as well. I think it's better for him. It's better for us. Let's just have a clean break. Everybody starts fresh and we all go our separate ways. That's what I think United should do, and I think that's what we will do. Dan is saying, donate Maguire and McTominay to West Ham for 50 million plus prize money. Look, honestly, if West Ham want to buy Maguire and McTominay and we can go out and make some money off that, that sounds good to me, because then we can reinvest that money. Hot Fuzz is down there. We could end up using Jadon Sancho as part of a Harry Kane deal. I mean, anything's possible. Daniel Levy, he has said such extreme things like, I would sooner die than sell Harry Kane to Manchester United this transfer window. I don't think it's going to happen. I just do not think it's going to happen. Sphinx is saying as well, Kane might be off to Bayern. Why does our board not show some pride and places in the transfer race actually go out and get Kane? Here's a massive upgrade on Martial. Yeah, that's a brilliant point, man. I think what it comes down to, first of all, Levy is very difficult to deal with. Manchester United's board are very difficult to get deals done. United could go in for a £3 meal deal in a shop and come out paying £5.50 for it because we sat and we haggled and the price went up. So that's kind of what United do. It's the way we have always run as a club, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, in terms of transfer market, we know how bad we are. It's been this way for a very long time, and it will continue until we get rid of those guys who are running the show. That's why I think one of the biggest things that the Qataris or Radcliffe, whoever buys United, first thing they have to do is get rid of the board, get rid of the guys doing the transfers, running this club. Like, seriously, go out and bring some people in who will be good at the job. So let's get talking about other incomings, because we have a potential one coming in here from Manchester Evening News. Manchester United are keeping their options open with Marcel Sabitzer after his loan move officially ended, but a permanent deal remains unlikely. So we could go back in for Sabitzer on loan, apparently, according to Manchester Evening News. Now, I'm glad we're not buying him permanently, because I just don't think he's at that level. I don't think he's... Look, he was a good stopgap, but I think we can do better. Let's put it that way. I think he's a good player. He could do well for other teams, but I think United can do better. That's just my personal thoughts, but I honestly believe we can and will do better than Marcel Sabitzer. And where does he fit in this team? Because I don't think he starts ahead of Eriksen or Mount or Bruno. So are we bringing the guy in for the sake of having him? You know, what are we doing here? I just don't think it's going to work out with Sabitzer at United coming back. Let me see as well. What else do we have? We have Hannibal Mejbri going to Borussia Dortmund. This again coming from Manchester Evening News. So United will listen to any offers for Hannibal Mejbri, and we are consider selling him. So, look, I think Mejbri is a pretty good player. I think it will not work out at United for him. I think it's a smart sale. I think if we can genuinely get some money for Hannibal Mejbri, I think that's a smart deal for United. Dan says Martial would be good in Italy. Slower style for his lazy attitude. Yeah, look, honestly, man, as well as that, it will come down to Martial's fitness. I think that's one of the biggest things. It's like clubs are looking at the guy going, if we buy him, is he going to play for us? Is he going to play 20, 30 matches? Probably not. I mean, that's what I honestly believe. I think he will miss out on a lot of football next season, whether he's at United, if he's abroad, wherever he goes. We know he will be injured. So I think that's been the big thing with Martial. It's the wages, it's the injuries. Look, there's no doubting the guy's talent. I mean, but I do think it comes down to attitudes as well. I do agree with you there, man, completely. Hot Fuzz is saying Sabitzer loan signing is the board conceding defeat and admitting their cards. Absolutely, man. Look, Sabitzer was a smart loan signing for January because he was probably the best available at the time. I mean, it was a smart deal because we needed someone to come in for Eriksen, and we brought in Sabitzer. Look, that's a smart deal. That's fine. I just think we can do better long term, and especially this summer. I think we can do better. I don't want to see Sabitzer back, and I don't want to see Wout Weghorst back. Please, please, please. If Richard Arnold is watching, if John Murray is watching, please do not have Weghorst and Sabitzer back at United. I think we can just do better on both players, especially on Weghorst. Like, I mean, yeah, it was funny for a while, but like, come on. Let me see as well. There was something else I wanted to go through on the notes here. Let me see. Where was that? Yeah, so let's get talking about the main things. Let's get talking about the poll, because there's other guys in the chat here and people who were not in it at the start of the stream. So I'm going to ask you guys about McFred, because obviously a big problem at United for a long time been that midfield. We wanted to see better players brought in. We're talking about selling Fred. We're talking about keeping McTominay. I would get rid of both. I genuinely think that's what we should be doing. Sell both players, and I think we will be better off for it in the long term. And there's no doubt in my mind about that. So look, that's what I'm asking you guys on the poll. At the moment, 73% of you guys are saying you would rather sell McTominay. I think that makes a lot more sense. I genuinely think selling McTominay, that's going to be a good move for United. Honestly, we can sell him for 25 million. We can invest that into somebody else. If you're telling me we're keeping Scott McTominay because he's younger than Fred, I mean, that just makes no sense. Like, that literally makes no sense. Zidane Iqbal is younger than Casemiro, so should we have got rid of Casemiro? No, obviously not. So I think it's a nonsense. I do not agree with it at all. I just think United, we can do better than these players. Let's actually be brave. Let's actually sell players for what they're worth. And let's improve as a team, because by selling these players, we do get better. And that's what we're going to have to do. Nick is down there. AC Milan offering 20 million for Van de Beek. That does seem to be the case. Honestly, 20 million for Donny Van de Beek. I'm checking that. No doubt in my mind, because I don't see a way for Donny into the United team. I don't think he starts ahead of Bruno or Eriksen or Mount now in terms of his actual settling in. He's never settled in at the club. He's very rarely played. He has been injured. So I think that could be a great deal. If we get 20 million for Donny van de Beek and we put that towards buying Hojlund or buying Onana, that makes United a better team. Make no doubt about it. That makes us so much better on the pitch, and that's what I want to see. Be ruthless. Sell these players who will not play for us. Do not keep hold of them for the sake of having them. And United will be a better team overall for that. So I'm excited for that. I think, completely agree, selling Donny van de Beek will be a good move for United. And if we get 20 million, that's about as good as I'd hoped. Look, I actually think that's probably more than what we should be getting for Van de Beek. So, I mean, I would be so happy if we managed to pull that deal off. A lot of confidence going around about Onana being the #1 next season. I'm feeling confident on that deal, all things considered. We've seen the update from Sky. We've seen the updates from Romano, from DiMarzio. It looks like the bid will be going in soon. It hasn't gone in yet. United, we tend to not bid until we know a settled price that they will accept. So we are talking to them, intermediaries, third parties, the usual stuff. But we have confirmation. We have a green light from Onana saying that he would join Manchester United, that he would come and link up with Erik ten Hag. So I think that's good. I'm feeling very positive about Onana coming in. I think he makes a very big difference to what we would be doing as a team overall, because he comes in, all of a sudden United, we can play out at the back. We've got a sweeper keeper. He will come out for crosses. That gives us a lot of different options in that back line, and we can play higher up the pitch. And then you're really going to see Bruno. You're really going to see the likes of Mount thriving at United next season. Vera is saying it's a true AC Milan want Donny. That is according to Italian sources and from Manchester Evening News. So I think what we can assume is there's probably an interest. I think if they would have bidded, and if they have bid 20 million, United probably would have sold him. So I don't think they've put a bid in. There's probably interest. They might want the player. I think they should do it. I would love it if they bought Van de Beek for 20 million. Ashid is down there. Sabitzer wasn't a bad player. He was just injury prone towards the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think Sabitzer, he's not a bad player. He'll be a very good player for some teams, but I think we can do better. I do think we are able to do better than Sabitzer. I think he did well when he came in, and he did his job. He did exactly what we needed. We needed him to come in and replace Eriksen in the team, to be that extra sort of midfielder and be that guy who can come in and help us in the short term. He did that, but I think we can do better. I do. I think I wouldn't start him ahead of Eriksen or Mount or Bruno, so I think his playing time would be limited. London is down there. De Gea voiced on his personal social media regarding the fate of his contract at Man United. The guy tweeted a yawn emoji. Yeah, I did see that, man. Look, I don't know what that was about. We do not know the context. Was he saying he is bored having a dig at United's board? Is he saying that he's bored of the speculation? It's tiring. I don't know. Let's find out. But I think he's gone. I do not expect to see De Gea back at Manchester United. That's my thoughts. Now, we might be proven wrong. He might end up re-signing. So anything is possible. It could happen, but let's see what happens. I think most of you guys seem to be happy enough with the idea of Onana being goalkeeper, with us getting rid of De Gea. I would tend to agree. I think for a long time, I thought De Gea would be United's goalkeeper, probably until he retired, but I just don't think it's going to happen in the long term. Just checking as well, guys, because there was stuff about Onana bid from Sky Sports that we were set to put one in the next couple of hours. I'm looking for an update. I cannot see anything yet, but that's one to keep an eye on. If we do go in with a bid, I'll probably go live later on as well. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down into the comments as well, and keep on voting on the poll. 73% of you guys would sell McTominay over Fred. I agree with you guys. I am with the majority. I think we should sell both. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick McTominay. We get more money for McTominay. Fred is a better player. Fred will come in and do a very good job for United. So I think McTominay should be the one making waves. So I do agree with what the majority of you guys are saying on this one. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down into the comments. If you guys are new as well, please consider hitting that sub button. Really helps me out, helps the channel grow. I mean, you guys are genuinely incredible. Like, honestly, the support from you guys has been nothing short of amazing over the entire duration of this channel. Let me just have one last check there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I could not ask for better support. You guys are genuinely unreal, and thank you so much for all the support yesterday, all the support on today, and every single stream. You guys know that you guys are the goats. Like, honestly, this community we have, it is brilliant, and thank you for everyone who has become a member over the last couple of days. Big T, of course, been the member for the longest. Yesterday we had Daniel joining, we had Hot Fuzz, and today we have Dan as well. So we have a Daniel and a Dan in Members FC. The link is down there as well if anybody does want to join. Completely optional as well, but we will be doing some bonus content for you guys, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys that. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below. And I can see the votes are still going in the poll. 113 of you guys have voted, and 73% of you guys are saying sell McTominay. So thank you very much for all that. Not too much in terms of takeover news to cover with you guys. Unfortunately, I wish we had some more, but unfortunately, it has gone radio silent once again. Let's hope we get some developments. Let's hope we can see the takeover take progress over this week. I'm expecting something this week. I'm hoping for something this week. Let's see what happens on that one. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below as well. Doesn't even have to be football related as well. If anybody has been watching the F1 or anything, let me know. And yeah, just get the comments in there, guys. I'm feeling positive on Onana. I'm feeling positive that we'll get Hojlund at some stage, but I would like to see some other players brought in. I think when we see João Neves being talked about from Benfica, I think that's a smart signing. A lot of you guys do want to see Romeo Lavia. I would love to see Lavia at Manchester United. I think he really adds a lot to that team. And if we could sell Fred and McTominay and Van de Beek and bring in Lavia, we're a better team for it. Honestly, I completely believe that he would improve us far more than what McTominay and Fred would do in that midfield. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to sell McTominay. That's my thoughts. Dan is saying Sabitzer was okay. Gravenberg would be the one from Bayern. Ten Hag knows him well. Yes, absolutely. I think he would be a really interesting signing, and we could definitely get him on loan. I mean, he's a young player. He went to Bayern Munich. Going to be hard to get into that midfield. I think Bayern would be happy for him to go to United, play Champions League football on a loan. And he knows Erik ten Hag, and he can play across the entire midfield. He can play number 6, he can play 8, he can even play 10. He could be a really good option. So that's a fantastic shout from yourself, Dan, honestly. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below. What do you guys think? Would Gravenberg be a good signing for United if we got him in on loan, perhaps, or if we signed him? Let me know down below. We have a small update coming in from Fabrizio Romano. Manchester United did not work to sign Moses Caicedo. The target was always Mason Mount. So as we said on the channel, as I'm pretty sure everybody thought all along, we were never going to sign Moses Caicedo. We were always going for Mount. It was just a negotiation tactic. But look, I'm happy enough with that. I think Mount improves us a lot, and United, we're going to be a better team next season. And hopefully we get that with the goalkeeper. I'm excited to see how Onana plays. Having a genuine sweeper keeper will make such a difference in that team. And genuinely, I think we're looking at a new United next season. I think we will see more of Erik ten Hag's ideas. We will see more of Erik ten Hag's beliefs on the pitch for United. And I'm excited for that. For sure, like, definitely, and I'm looking forward to bringing that with you guys across the entire channel across next season. So we will be doing some watch-alongs and stuff, so make sure keep an eye out for those. We'll probably start with the pre-season, see how they go, and move on from there. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below. Lavia or Gravenberg on our midfield would be smoking, says Dan. Don't know why my voice went really loud there as well. Lavia or Gravenberg on our midfield would be smoking, says Dan. I think, honestly, yes. Personally, I would rather Lavia, but I think Gravenberg adds a lot to this team. It's about whether we get him permanent signing or not. I don't know. I think I would love to see Lavia. I think we've seen what he can do in the Premier League. We've seen how good he can be in the Premier League. I think he would be perfect for Manchester United, all things considered, and he definitely would be my number one choice if I had to bring in another midfielder. I think if we have Lavia, we have Mount, Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro, We could sell McTominay, we could sell Fred, we could sell Van de Beek, and we could have a much better midfield. And honestly, I think, as Dan says, it would be smoking. I'd be looking forward to that. Honestly, guys, it would be incredible to see that in the midfield. And let's hope we do it. Let's hope we actually have the ambition to go out and bring in some more players, because that's how we get better. Look, Erik ten Hag, he's done a great job bringing this team to third, but I think we're approaching our limit. I genuinely do. He's not going to be able to make McTominay a player who plays 70, 80 passes per match. He's not going to be able to make Harry Maguire a quick, agile player who can play on the halfway line. That will not happen. He's not going to be able to shake hands with Anthony Martial and cure his injury proneness. So the investment is needed. These players have brought us as far as they can go. Let's hope that we can go out and actually bring in some ambition, have some new players coming in who will make a big difference to this team. That's what I want to see. That's what we need to see at Manchester United. So guys, I'm going to drop off the stream here because I'm going to go get some food and some dinner. I'm going to work on a video as well for tonight, so keep an eye out for that dropping tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining in. Big shout out to Dan as well for joining as a member. And guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Will probably be the usual time, 7:30, 7:45-ish, just whenever I get out of work. So I will see you guys then. Have a very good Sunday, whatever you guys are up to. Thank you very much for joining in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.